Hello everyone, I've been gone for a while again, and I'm afraid it's going to be like this every now and then because it's summer. I've had a lot to do. I've not even kept up with TNA wrestling. I'm about 1 month behind, although with WWE I'm up to date. And like I said, it's summer. There is so much different stuff to do, like looking at the girls and all kind of stuff. You know what I mean. It's summer, yeah. So, however, I will throw in my Money in the Bank 2010 predictions, and it's shaping up to be a good card. 7 matches all in all right now. I watched WWE Raw from last night, and it wasn't that good, and it wasn't as good as previous weeks of Raw, which has been really good. And it feels like WWE are more or less just waiting for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view to be over. Not that I don't believe that the pay-per-view is going to be really good. Something I don't believe Over the Limit was. Fatal 4-Way was a little better, but the first 4 pay-per-views this year they were awesome. But from there on, WWE hasn't really kept up. But I believe they will be in for the swing now that we have SummerSlam coming up in August. So Money in the Bank, I believe, will be a good pay-per-view. But Raw this week was just more like lying in wait for the pay-per-view, for stuff to happen there. The Nexus had their match, picked on people backstage. It didn't really feel that inventive, but I believe, as I said, after the pay-per-view leading into SummerSlam, more stuff will happen. I believe, for instance, we could see Wade Barrett versus John Cena at SummerSlam, and to really climax this feud. And somewhere down the line also Wade Barrett might receive a world title shot. So if we go on with the matches for this pay-per-view coming up this Sunday, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, the Money in the Bank ladder match has finally grown up, just not being a part of the WrestleMania card. It's now an own pay-per-view, and I think it's going to be 2 great matches. But I'll start off with the women's matches. Kelly will challenge Layla for the women's championship, and to bring some momentum back into that, because it's kind of stalled since Layla won the belt. It's been a very good last 6 months other than that for the women's division on SmackDown. I believe Kelly will win the belt. She's worked hard, improved a lot, and might deserve it, and that might lead to her working with Michelle McCool over SummerSlam. So Kelly will win the belt and become the new women's champion at Money in the Bank this Sunday. However, I believe Alicia Fox will retain her title against Eve Torres. She won the belt at Fatal 4-Way in a Fatal 4-Way match, and she kept the belt last week against Eve Torres in a singles match, feigning an injury. I believe she will retain this Sunday as well. So, and if you go into the Money in the Bank ladder matches, I have to read because I won't remember all 8 names. It's from Raw's Money in the Bank ladder match. We're going to have Teddy DiBiase versus Chris Jericho versus Edge versus The Miz versus Evan Bourne versus John Morrison versus Randy Orton, and as we learned last night on Raw, Mark Henry, he's the last-minute addition due to R-Truth being injured, attacked by The Miz last week. Mark Henry won't win. I hope Edge, Jericho, or Orton won't win because they already are in that main event status. I would like to see someone young coming up, someone who's reaching out. They're pushing Evan Bourne a lot, and he's finally will be in this match, and he will hopefully do something awesome. He's custom made for this match, just like John Morrison, but I believe Evan Bourne and John Morrison are just in there for the attraction of the match. I don't believe they will win, just like I don't hope, and I know Mark Henry won't win, and I hope Jericho, Edge, and Orton won't win because they are already complete superstars in the top tier. So that leaves 2 guys. That's Teddy DiBiase and The Miz. Looking how subtly they've been booking both of them, though Miz is the way better heel when it comes to the reaction from the crowd. They've still been pushing Teddy DiBiase, pairing him up with Maurice, and I think in the long run it could work really well. He's all about the material stuff, money, titles. As I said, the greatest couple in the WWE isn't him and Maurice, it's him and the Money in the Bank briefcase, which in a much wider perspective will lead to him winning the title, he said. And I think WWE has a special place in their heart for Teddy DiBiase, but The Miz as well. He is bound to become a top tier wrestler, this is really gonna be a coin flip. I like to say The Miz, it feels the most natural, but like I said, Teddy DiBiase, I wouldn't be too surprised if he won the match. But still, The Miz has impressed more recently, so I say The Miz wins the Raw Money in the Bank ladder match. Then we go on to the SmackDown's Money in the Bank ladder match, which will feature Big Show versus Matt Hardy versus Christian versus Kofi Kingston versus Dashing Cody Rhodes versus Kane versus Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler. Kane, I don't think will win. Christian, I don't think he will win either. Neither will Big Show, Matt Hardy. Kofi Kingston, he is a solid mid-card wrestler and he does good, and he needs to be even more established before being pushed into the top as he was this past winter, which didn't work that good for him. Dashing Cody Rhodes, not yet. Dolph Ziggler, I don't think so, not yet. So that leads me to believe that Drew McIntyre will win, and it will bring a great spark between him and Teddy Long again. Because I believe Drew McIntyre is finally getting really over with the crowd. That was several critics on the internet thought that despite the effort put into him, much like they have criticized Teddy DiBiase, despite the effort put in both these two wrestlers, they hadn't got the crowd reaction that you would want to see. But I think it's growing for Drew McIntyre, and therefore I believe, just like I said, I believe I predicted Drew McIntyre to win the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania as well. That did not happen, but I put him in there as my favorite again. Drew McIntyre wins the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match. The Miz wins the Raw Money in the Bank ladder match. And then we go on with the Tag Team Championship match, which I'm really excited about. The Hart Dynasty versus the Usos. It would be easy to say because that the Usos would win because they arrived new in the scene, the fresh team, the sons of Rikishi Fatu, and the daughter of Superfly Jimmy Snuka is Tamina. Still, the more I've seen of them, I don't think they're ready for such a push already, which means they will simply have to postpone a possible title win for them, and they aren't that over. And initially I thought that they were going to win when they were brought in, but like I said, the more I've seen, the more I'm confident that they are not ready, and they aren't steady enough in the ring, not on the mic. They have their future, a possible title reign, tag team title reign, but not yet. So I say the Hart Dynasty retains, and possibly they will lead into another match at SummerSlam, I don't know, but at Money in the Bank I believe the Hart Dynasty will retain, which will make me a happy camper. Rey Mysterio versus Jack Swagger. Actually, this could go either way, and now I believe that they will push Rey Mysterio going to SummerSlam as the champion, hence I believe, it's as simple as that Rey will win. I don't know in which way, shape or form, but I believe he will retain the title. Then what will possibly be the main event of this match is Steelcage match from John Cena that left Raw bloody last night and apparently was subject for a female fan coming to the ring in the Raw Dark match after the show. This will be a great match. They have motivated a steel cage match in a great way to keep the Nexus out. So, who will win? I believe Sheamus will win because I believe there's a John Cena versus Wade Barrett feud coming up for SummerSlam, and I believe that Triple H will be back soon, and that will lead to a Triple H versus Sheamus main event at SummerSlam for the title, which would be an awesome match considering how great a match they had at WrestleMania and at Extreme Rules. So Sheamus will retain. The factor here, how will the Nexus affect the match? I've already told Randy Orton that come the steel cage match, the winner of the match will be in a vulnerable state despite winning, and if even attacked by the Nexus, he will be completely out. And they told Randy Orton, if you win the Money in the Bank, maybe that's the kind of way you would want that title match to progress in order for you to make the biggest profit out of it, namely becoming the champion. But if you don't work with us, if you keep siding with Cena, we can make sure you will never ever be able to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase. Since then, Orton haven't had that much to do with John Cena. Hard to say whether he will win the match or what will happen, but I think it's quite obvious that the Nexus will affect the pay-per-view in any way, shape or form. Now these are my predictions. Feel free to send in your thoughts and your predictions. Keep the questions coming. I will try to answer them doing more Q&A videos. I'm trying to do as much videos as possible. It's just that it's so much different stuff like work, and you know, that takes a lot of time. But thank you for watching and have a nice day.